Welcome, one and all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the semi-finals of the Grand Championship Series. Welcome to Luvnest's United States Forces as he's 2-1 up in this best of 5 to decide not only who wins this match, no. It decides who goes to ESL's Studio One in Leicester in the first esports event in Comedy of Heroes history to fight Devem in the final on July the 1st. This is one of the biggest games in either of these two's history. For Helping Hands, it's do or die. He either wins this or he gets sent home packing. He lets the German player come on his home turf of England and play in front of all of those people. But for Luvnest, it's his chance to make Helping Hands, quite frankly, cry as he watches on, and he lifts the trophy aloft after beating Devem. Dan, what's going to happen in this game?
I have no idea. There is so much at stake in this game. There's a lot of people here supporting both sides of this story, and let's not forget these guys are friends as well. And it really is Team Hands versus Team Luvnest. Luvnest, as you rightly say, only has to close this game in order to go to the finals. So the pressure really is on Hands here. And, can Hands work well under this pressure? We're going to find out.
Helping Hands is somebody that's put so much emphasis on being a pro gamer for Co2. It's his lifeblood, these tournaments. For Luvnest, this is his hobby whilst he studies at university. For Helping Hands, this is going to be on his Twitch bio for everybody to see that he played in front of this esports venue at an ESL arena, and so for him it's so important. For Luvnest, he's a damn fine competitive player. He's a competitive spirit. He wants to win. He plays to win. And in his mind, he's on the path to victory right now, 2-1 up. And this game already boiling over with frenetic engagements all over the place, Dan. They're both very well warmed up now. You can feel it. The camera, I'm sure you've got it panning around the battlefield, trying to soak up all the engagements that are happening. There's too many of them to count at the moment.
There is, yeah, but I do feel early engagements for Austere are absolutely crucial, especially in the support of this MG as we see here, because they have to be in cover, they have to be pushing these locations. I think, oh, that was so close, Hands nearly stealing a house in center. But, the Ostrupen are great, and they're great because they're quick to reinforce and they're cheap to reinforce, and it's indicative of Hands potentially going for a tier 2 rush, because he will have that manpower stacked up using these units. He'll also be able to dominate some buildings early, get some good control. So he's going to trade very well and hopefully get something out in case Luvnest decides to go tier 1 with the M20 again.
27th of October 2013 was the date Helping Hands posted his guide called Overwhelming Ostrupen on co2.org. It's one of the first top-tier player-made guides on that website. He's been using this commander as his hallmark for so many years, and here he is as Ostrupen, trying to make it work in 2017 against his famous rival Luvnest. He's got to make it work. He's got to maintain superior capping ability. He's got to get to garrisons first. He's got to get to cover first, and just maybe he'll be able to tech through the battle phases and complement his army with the panzers he oh so sorely needs in order to make this work.
Indeed, yeah, but what a good start for Hands to this game. Ostrupen classically do have this kind of start, just the way that they dominate the field is fantastic. Hands is already going into that tier 2. We see it finishing now. Hands just has to build up a couple, 15 fuel or something like that, and he's going to be able to get 10 fuel, and he's going to be able to get that scout car on the field really, really early. And this is going to be good. This is going to be good. We're going to see what Luvnest is doing here. He is going for the captain this time. So actually, it's a little bit of a counterplay here, because maybe Hands, expecting Luvnest to go for the lieutenant. That's why he's bringing out the scout cars. We can assume it's going to be one of those. Either that or he's going to go into the half track, but I don't know. I don't see that as being as effective here against USF. I don't know if that's the kind of thing
you've got to consider as well. With Helping Hands from tier 2, he doesn't just get the scout car, he'll get the Panzer Grenadiers and the Pak 40 as well. So he does go for an overall comprehensive kind of build order that is meant to be able to deal with everything. At the moment, he's got pitched engagement there between the Ostrupen and the Rifleman of Luvnest. Luvnest played excellently in his game too as the USF. But look at that S-mine on the retreat path. The Ostrupen, if they win this battle, Dan, especially when the 500 Svansk scout car hits, it's going to push them into the path of those mines that are waiting. There's 2 patches of S-mine, 3 patches of S-mines, all waiting for this 3-man squad. He's got such a horrific path to home. It's almost like flying like Ryanair or something. He's going to be... Oh no. Luckily for him, he's just got an anti-tank grenade. And that meant... No, he's now gone north of the garrison, which means he's going through that horrific retreat path through the S-mines. Here they go. Oh!
2 squads of them, but I mean the minesweepers are also retreating with it, so it's actually detecting some of the mines. It's up to the scout car to chase back into the base now to clear that up. Very fortunate that he had the minesweepers there, otherwise that could have been chaos.
He survived somehow. The scout car's looking for the kill now. The rifleman's trying to get away. Here comes the M1AT gun. HelpingHans' luck is not with him in this particular game as the M1 finds the shot.
Wow, that was a great little play there, and that all just went so well. I don't know if he actually popped the minesweepers on his squad just in case that retreat was going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think maybe he saw... Well, I don't know. He could
no, he didn't do that. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think HelpingHans play an amazing play there. Luvnest, quite frankly, was just lucky. Very good with the M1, though. He got that shot off in the nick of time and was able to defeat the scout car. And at the end of the day, it is only a scout car. It's just 30 fuel, 200 manpower. HelpingHans is still well and truly in this game.
That's a really tough one, though, because I mean the whole idea of this Ostroupen build is that you rush tier 2, right? That's the whole idea. You get something up field first, you make the best use of it, you claim that field advantage early, claim it as quick as possible. That hasn't happened now. So his entire, like, almost commander, you know, the idea to just kind of roll up into the early mid game, you know, with this kind of manpower flotation, it's gone. It's gone, and the Stuart's going to be on the field, and it's going to be fighting a half track. So this is a great position, I would argue, for Luvnest to be in right now.
You don't have to argue. I think it's so clear at the moment that Luvnest is in the ascendancy, is 2-1 up, and he's got everything he needs to dispatch HelpingHans at the moment. He's got the M1, he's got the Stuarts, he's got a good core contingency of superior infantry. However, there are 2 MGs out for HelpingHans, and we know this guy can play. We know this guy can combat what his opponent builds, can play for time, stall, reconfigurate, and make any game competitive. And at the moment, he's got decent control of. He's got his fuel. He's contending for victory points. He's not lost many at the moment. In fact, he's only lost 23 at this point. So let's not discount the Hansy man quite yet.
No, I don't think we should at all, and I think actually if Hans gets an AT gun in his build, he can still stand, you know, to do very well here. If he's using the half-track for reinforcement, he's going to have good staying power on the field, because the Ostroupen can just reinforce very, very quickly. You know, it's going to be hard for USF to push the ground territory. But here we have the half-track. It looks like it's going on the hunt for the squad of Luvnest, which is a little bit extended, trying to decap far onto the right-hand side. And I really like that Luvnest is doing that, because, you know, people don't quite always see it, but these strategic points, they do add a hell of a lot to your resource income. You could argue this is like the main part of your resource income, is just getting more strategic points, because this is fuel and munitions. You know, in some ways, it's more important than just hitting one solid fuel point. So, you know, Luvnest is
it's definitely better to get 2 territory points over 1 specialised territory point for a fuel and munitions. I mean, it's nearly as much getting 2 territory points as it is, and I always can't stand it when I see an unback-capped territory point, as you often see on this map in particular. Hattons, by the way, now Dan is getting the Pack 40, so that momentary hole in his build order that was left to be exploited by the Stuart is being plugged at the moment. So definitely still in this in a strategic standpoint, and he's gotten back into it now, and it's anybody's game to play for.
It is, yeah, but one thing that definitely once again goes into the hands of Luvnest is the commander selection, because Luvnest is very strategically, you know, you get this sense Luvnest is just comfortable with the factions. He will play it without a commander to his very best, and he'll leave that decision for something that he really, really needs. Like Hans has gone in with a pre-loaded commander. You know, he's basically picked Ostroupen straight from the get-go. That was his plan all along, and it leaves himself counterable. It leaves himself counterable by commander rather than just by situation.
And whichever Luvnest wants to go for, be it the Calliope to counter the MGs in the Pack 40, be it the Pershing to counter the eventual Tier 3 play of HelpingHans, he's in such a commanding position in terms of strategy. Helping Hands, however, is starting to consolidate his position. He's got the entire south of the map. He's got 2 victory points. He's got the MGs in good positions, and he's starting to get veterancy on the Ostrupen, which will make them a little bit more effective. Half Track's going to get out of there, though.
Looks like it does just in the nick of time, and Luvnest is really trying to plant the shots on that. It's nice that he's actually gone for this AT gun so early. And he's making very, very good grounds on that. We do have telemines. There's 2 telemines from Hans, one by the left fuel, one by the approach to his base. So clearly maybe predicting that the Stuart is going to try and come round on the flank to pick up that half track in an inopportune moment. And that's going to be negated very, very quickly. Hans making good defense here.
There you go, good darting in from Luvnest with the barred up rifles. Get rid of that MG. They jump in and out of the garrison so quickly and splendidly. They are up against the 12 Ostrupen. Oh god, the grenade goes in. Dodged there very well by Helping Hands. And the rifles are on the hunt and they're doing very well. They've completely taken over the centre there, Dan.
They are doing very well, and Hans is going to go with a sniper now. This is going to be the unit of choice for him. I think it's a sensible decision because he's going to be able to push the field with the Ostrupen, got access to Faust, good protection, and he's going to be able to just pick off those riflemen bit by bit, hopefully climb in the manpower game. Just had the telemines there swept up by Luvnest on the right-hand side. Luvnest, as always in this series, paying excellent attention to these mines games.
The mind game is something that's so apparent at the moment. He's combating it very well. Stuart's also combating this MG very well. It's got a difficult retreat path as it gets away from the M5A1
Mine's
there.
mind game is not as good as Helping Hands and Luvnest.
Well done, Dan. You've put, a good amount of energy we needed for this best of 5 into creating that tongue twister. We could have used that in a late game tank battle, but you've used it to create a tongue twist 11 minutes in, so I hope you're happy.
I'm happy.
Fair enough. You have to find your own entertainment in these casts, especially when it's our 9th game of the day. All long competitive games, by the way. We've gone hardcore today, haven't we? Oh god, the Stuart's found the sniper. He's got to be careful.
Not only the sniper, also found the half track, which is no longer protected by that telemine, so Hans will be very, very careful about how he reacts in this situation right now. Hans is going for the decap on the fuel. He's playing very, very well on the map. And I've just realised something. Isn't this the exact same map where Hans... Isn't this the map from ESL? Isn't this the same one?
Probably.
I think I'm seeing... I just had like huge deja vu, and I'm thinking this might actually be like a replica of Luvnest playing.
Go-to competitive, the same 4 players playing on the same maps over and over again until the end of time. Never-ending Go-to, all year round, every year. I'm basically trying to do the David Mitchell thing. You've got me, haven't you? Faust goes in against the Stuart, pushes it away. There is no follow-up though because... Oh, there is a follow-up! It's on the back 40!
There was a follow-up, and not just any follow-up, it was the follow-up to that situation. Long shot from the Pack 40, taking down the Stuart. A massive win there for Hans, who now has a bit of time on himself. He's wiped Luvnest tech out of the mid-game. Now he has an opportunity to get a tech of his own that's going to have field advantage. That was beautiful play by Hans.
It was excellent play. I didn't think there was follow-up, but Helping Hands definitely showed us there was. And Luvnest found out very quickly as well as that M5A1 got destroyed. Pack 40 max range ground attack. And you'd expect Helping Hands to have more of the map based on that, but Luvnest still has a hell of an army with all these barred up rifles, and now he's locked in with the M10 calling.
It's a good choice of commander. He doesn't decide to go for M10 straight away though. He's going to keep that card up his sleeve. I think he has some more minesweeping to do, given that he's seen that Hans has laid 2 tellers. Maybe he considers that there might be some more there. But he's actually going to go with the mortar. He's going to go for some indirect fire, possibly to flush out the sniper, possibly just to smoke the support weapons so that the rifleman can do some better work on the field.
Mortars come out for Luvnest. It's an interesting choice. Hopefully dispatch some of these MG42s from his standpoint. Got Helping Hands building a second sniper to build a sniper team. Very Co-1-esque thing to do for Helping Hands there.
This is going to push out down. I think that's a really nice idea. Double snipers would brutalize the manpower for Luvnest. It would stop him getting these N10s on calling constantly. Even though Hans doesn't know this is the pick yet, I'm sure he's predicting it. So whether this is intentional for that reason, this would be a great way to either keep units off the field or just negate the call-in.
This game has legs. This series has had serious legs, and both players are now in an endurance battle. Yeah, you might see these guys on stream in auto match, playing, talking to chat, 10 games at a time sometimes. But this is not auto match, this is tournament play. The APM is so much higher. These guys are trying so much harder to win this, and that's why an endurance thing becomes a thing 4 games in. These guys are battle-scarred, battle-weary, battle-hardened, and they're now in this 4th game. It's do or die for HelpingHans. He either wins this, or he gets sent home packing and comes to Leicester as a fan and possible analyst commentator. He does not get to go on stage and fight DevM to lift a trophy. Luvnest, the German war machine, the German giant, is looking strong, looking powerful. He's 2-1 up, but in this game, it's anybody's game to take. And HelpingHans showing just how strong he is there with that double sniper pairing, opening up with those scoped up G43s in tandem, pushing that rifle straight back to base.
It's a very, very interesting timing for this. I think it's very appropriate timing, because without, you know, like now that the M20 was down, the Stuart was down, it's a really good time to bring the 2 snipers out on the field. If we'd have done this earlier, I mean, yeah, it could be devastating, but it's, you know, it's counterable. And there's 720 manpower there that is just waiting to be wiped off the field. So this is the best time that he could have made this decision. And, you know, we're hoping to see these start really, really eating up into Luvnest.
I just had the deja vu as well, Dan, you're right. Hans won GCS with an amazing push from Luvnest T34s. Sorry, won the ESL rather, with an amazing push from HelpingHans in these exact positions, you know? And it was 2-pack 40s that saved the day, I seem to remember. He's gotten 2-pack 40s out. It's almost like he tempts Luvnest on with these mobile allied tanks into a trap with the 2-pack 40s, the Panzerfaust wielding Osttroopen. And it could be deja vu for Luvnest, but he was so unlucky in ESL, wasn't he, not to get the win in that final, if you remember.
It was just a great series. I think Luvnest probably felt, you know, it could have gone easily into his favour, but that was a huge moment for Hans, and this is so similar. You know, I can't even recall if Hans was playing Osttroopen, but it was so similar. But what may not be similar is Luvnest may be able to get a kill on the sniper here. The Bulldozer Sherman takes a shot.
Yes, the howitzer overshoots. Oh, I just felt like it was Jaws there circling his prey. There's the Pack 40 opening up. The rifleman were suppressed, was not able to kill the sharpshooter, and the Pack 40 gets the kill.
Wow, that was so lucky for Hans. He managed to get away with the sniper on low health thanks to just sudden burst of suppression from the MG42 in the center. Sniper gets away with barely anything in that engagement. The rifleman couldn't focus the second sniper, and it's just give Hans loads of time to come back. But the big point really was that bulldozer Sherman that Luvnest has been waiting ages for, has just spent all his fuel for, is now no longer on the field already. So this double sniper has even more opportunity now to start eating into Luvnest's lead in here. I'm just calling it now. I think we're going to have a Game 5 after that one engagement. I think it's going to go to Game 5.
And it was the Pack 40s yet again. HelpingHans is so good at positioning these anti-tank guns and so good at making them work, especially he can, you know, he's always on target with his attack rounds and such, and he just makes them do such great work for him. And Luvnest again scuppered on Faymanville approach with the great Pack 40 play of HelpingHans. Going to a Game 5, the second Game 5 of the day.
We have to really consider as well, like, you know, what have the VPs been so far? Who's going to get faction selection on a Game 5? What's it going to be? Like, what did he feel more comfortable playing as? Because, you know, they've both just played very well in both Axis and Allies. It's a great series in that respect, because you're looking at people who are good with multiple factions. You know, there's not just one faction they can play. They can throw in curveballs in huge directions.
Curveballs are getting thrown in multiple directions. It's so difficult to deal with. Riflemen come in, try and find a counter for the snipers, one of which has died now, and leaves the 20-kill sniper still alive. So Luvnest is not out of this thing yet. Very competitive victory point count. He has got a good commander that has good late game potential if he can mass the tanks, but at the moment he doesn't have any, and he's just waiting to get the requisite fuel and manpower in order to get this thing going.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Luvnest he's actually desperate to get these snipers. He tried to go into the base previously to get one of the snipers that survived. The second one, I didn't see how that went down, but I mean, he's actually just smoking the base and running up just to stop those snipers from just eating through his manpower, and he's doing well because he's now got another bulldozer Sherman just hitting the field. Let's hope this time he can use it a little more prowess than the previous one.
There you go. This Osttrooper needs to survive, but did not survive thanks to the Bard Rifleman play there. And HelpingHans all of a sudden is in a little bit of a weak and wobbly position, not the strong and stable position he wanted. In a Theresa May-like... Oh! Explosion from the second howitzer coming out, destroying the Osttrooper. And Luvnest went straight back to what he knew would work, made it work.
Oh, there was target weak point there from the AT gun, which gives a chance for another shot to come in. Hans is moving the AT gun when he could have actually ground attack to hit it. That's going to give chance for Luvnest to pop the smoke shells and move away. Do we have ground attack from Hans? Will it hit? No, it doesn't.
Did not hit at all. And there you go. HelpingHans now is in a little bit of a weaker position. This is definitely a case of to and fro, ebb and flow. Back and forth gameplay. If I've ever seen a game that's been such a seesaw of comebacks upon comebacks, you can really sense the tension, and both players are playing at their absolute height and peak and zenith of their powers, and it could go to either player at the moment. It is too close to call down.
It is too close to call, and also VPs, once again we're in a situation 372 to 388 on the VP front, and Hans is just about to reclaim second VP. They've got time to play with. I think we know that, you know, this will only benefit Hans in the long run. It tends to benefit Axis because they'll be able to get access to the late game armor. The veterancy starts to stack up, which is great. So, you know, Luvnest, I think, has to really make some big plays here, you know, try and close out early if he can, before Hans gets too strong. But we've seen this before. We've seen this game before. Will it go the same way this time, though?
I'll tell you one thing for Hans, though. He's just constructed a heavy Panzer core, and he could get, in literally 7 fuel time, the Panzerkampfwagen 5, the Panther tank. Could be a thing for this bulldozer Sherman to cope with as it's masquerading around the battlefield. The riflemen are trying to put pressure down on the Pack-40s. They're trying to put pressure equally on with a tandem wombo combo shot. They go in against the bulldozer Sherman. Anything can happen down. Is the bulldozer Sherman going to go down?
It really should go down because target weak point went on. The second shot connects. There we go. That Sherman is dead. And now it's just down to Hans to protect his AT guns, but it's still a while off for the next bulldozer Sherman. I don't think that's precisely what Luvnest wanted, but if he loses these 2 AT guns, this would be huge.
It really would be. The Pack-40s have been the thing that has made HelpingHans look likely to win this game 4. They've both just been stolen. He needs to act quickly. They've both been stolen, Dan. This is such a big moment. Both Pack-40s, that's 640 manpower, but most importantly, it's the crown jewel in HelpingHans' army. It's been taken away from him by that thief, that dastardly Luvnest.
It looks like he's getting away with it as well. It's going to be so difficult for Hans to play anything out of Austere with 3 AT, especially 2 Austere AT guns, which have access to the target weak point, as we saw there. You know, it can just like stun the tank, so that Brumba is going to be very, very countered when this comes on the field.
Oh, and he's lost 2 Osttrooper as well. I think HelpingHans in that moment with the rifle play of Luvnest with the barred up rifles, it may be a loss of a ticket to Leicester to play on the grand stage of them all. It may just be because quite possibly, not frankly, this Panzer Brumbear is going to be so heavily countered. It's up against not only the M1 57mm, it's up against 2 Pack-40 7.5cm AT guns. A pack wall. HelpingHans needs to think fast. He needs to possibly get a Panzerwerfer out. He needs to get this game going. He's got the victory point count though, Dan. He's still not out of it yet, but he needs to make the correct decisions from this point onwards, otherwise he's done for.
It's really tense. I mean, fortunately, as we spoke before, you know, both players have a lot of VPs, so the game is still young in that sense. But look at this. Look at the AT wall. When these open up, when these actually open up fire, it's just going to be so much to deal with. I can't see how the Brumbear is going to be able to clear these. I mean, he is keeping them bunched up, but that is a lot to work with.
Yeah, the Brumbear's going to have to be careful as well. It's going to be a micro sink for Hans. He's going to have to constantly push it in, attack ground, reverse out, in order to make it work. Usually it can just sit there like a big fat bastard and decimate squads, but HelpingHans is going to have to use it like a precision tool, which is exactly what it's not intended to be. He's got to do it though.
The question is, where does it go from here? What's the next thing on the build? He's trying to get those ground attack shots, and that one was actually relatively successful. Luvnest is sensible enough though to just keep pulling it back. Like, I think he realizes the advantage that he has, and it's a huge advantage. I couldn't have thought of a worse scenario for Hans to be in right now than to have this happen. He's in line now of the AT guns, manages to clear one. This could be very, very useful to him.
He needs to act though, he needs to act upon it. And right now his sniper's in base. There is no heals in base, by the way, which just seems like an oversight because this Vet 3 sniper is on so little health. He needs to push in with the sniper. The sniper, classically in Company Heroes competitive play, has been the counter to AT guns. But the bulldozer's now on the field and the sniper's not going to want to hit it. Oh my lord!
There we go, Luvnest manages to stop the crewing of the AT gun. Bulldozer Sherman doing great work against the Ostrupen there as it continues to tear through the center. AT guns are also pushing up territory just in case the Brumbear comes in. The Brumbear cannot find the same kind of shots that the Sherman is finding. There's another huge hit there from the AT guns. Hans is forced onto the back foot, having to build an AT gun of his own. But I don't know. We could be looking at the final stages of the game here.
What a final. What a final we have set. If this is indeed Luvnest in the ascendancy to victory, on the victory parade, 1 foot in the door, 1 hand on the trophy, just as possibly Devem standing in his way. But for right now, it's HelpingHans still standing in his way, still putting up resistance. He just looks so out of it on a material standpoint, not victory point standpoint quite yet, but from a material standpoint, he's got a scant, impoverished army compared to Luvnest's armada.
Whew. What a game it has been so far. You just look across the battlefield at the moment, there is such a huge presence here from Luvnest. Absolutely huge. He controls all areas of the map, and just this 3 AT guns in the center, so strong. Hans are trying to move over to the right hand side, but the bulldozer Sherman is coming over to try and deal with that. It is a situation really that Hans did not want to be in a game 4.
Oh, the Sherman doing good work there. The Ostrupen having to retreat. Smoke is parading around the Brumbear as it's repaired. The Brumbear that HelpingHans probably hates at the moment. That Brumbear is just a bugbear of HelpingHans. He just knows it's utterly useless against the 3 AT guns on the field. There's no sniper to decrew the said AT guns anymore. He doesn't have what he needs.
You know, saying all of this though, Hans is making some ground through all of this. He needs to be very careful with his pioneers in the center though. Manages to get them to retreat. I mean, he is making some ground in terms of, you know, just trying to hit manpower over time, just trying to take shots. I mean, he's good with the ground attack on the Brumbear. He's trying to aim it into the AT guns constantly to just wipe the models, but he hasn't been that lucky. You know, they're just not doing the same kind of splash damage as the Sherman is doing. But if he can get one of those back, I mean, he's got the AT gun of his own. If he can get one of those back, it does even the field a little bit. And you can tell Hans is in, like, he's in a try-hard mode at the moment. He really is kind of trying to come back from this. And knowing the position he's in, I think it's making him fight very, very hard.
There you go, the Sherman bulldozer doing great work. As it's done the second iteration throughout the game. It's mostly, in this game, it has to be said, the rifle play of Luvnest that's won it. The Pack 40s were doing great. They recoiled into position, but the rifles came in and made the swoop, and it was Grand Theft Pack Gun. This meant that Luvnest has 1 foot on the stage of ESL Studio 1 in Leicester. 1 foot on the stage in order to meet Devem in the final. M10 Wolverine coming in against the Vet 3 half-track that's heavily outgunned. The Brumbear's also heavily outgunned, and it's retreating heavily. Luvnest is in the ascendancy.
I mean, Hans has got 600 manpower. He's not spending it on anything at the moment. Going to lose another MG by the looks of it, but he could easily have a second AT gun out on the field. That would make things a little bit more bearable. Even if he just had a mortar out so that he could smoke the AT guns, you know, and then shell them, put that extra micro pressure on Luvnest, anything would be better than banking up 670 manpower in this situation. It looks to me like Hans may have given up a little bit, knowing that you know, this could be the end of his GCS dream.
It really could. Unfortunately for him, it could be. I think he's had an amazing run. I'm sure he's coming to the final anyway, be it as an analyst caster or commentator. He could provide in-between game comments wearing a lovely suit. Or he could be a fan, somebody to chill out and have a drink with everybody that wants to turn up on the day. But that's just, you know, that he's not going to want to hear that, to be honest. He's going to be mortified. There's no easy way to say it, but Luvnest has played a bit better in this series, unfortunately for Hans. He's made the plays at the right moments, and Hans has not played badly. It's just Luvnest has played a little bit better on the day, and that's what can happen.
There's just been moments as well where it all went wrong to Chaos that we saw slightly earlier on. Like, Hans in such a good position, and the Bulldozer Sherman just, you know, in liaison with everything else, just caused such huge problems. Not to say that it's over yet, but it's looking very, to coin your phrase, it's looking very likely that it might be. But this push on the left-hand side, a little bit negated there. AT Gun gets a shot on the M10. Brumbear now with Vet 2 armor skirts, trying to just chug away constantly at any of the infantry. Hans just can't find the opening that he needs. Gone for Panzer Shreks on the Panzer Grenadiers, which I think he wants to try and help to combat the Bulldozer Sherman.
There's no sugarcoating it, Dan. This Brumbear's been awful. It's got 13 kills, yeah, but there's other units that could have done that and not been such a fuel sink. That he could have got the Panther out, for example. He definitely needed to rebuild his Pack 40 sooner. But in general, Luvnest just played a bit better on the day, and HelpingHans is desperate now. He's got the Panzer Grenadier in the central capping circle. He's got 54 victory points remaining. He's on a triple cap. Less than a minute of gameplay left, unless he does something very quickly about it.
I don't know what to say, honestly, because we had the same thing in the quarterfinals, you know, where we started losing the big names, and we were always going to lose a big name at every stage of this tournament onwards. And this is why Luvnest versus Hans has been such a huge series, because we're losing two huge players, huge streamers, huge game personalities. Like, it's sad, you know, it's actually devastating to see either of them go out. And
plus he was a cheap plane ticket, you know.
It's nice that you're trying to make everybody here happy and laugh, because there's a lot of people here that want to see HelpingHans win and go through to the finals. It does look like that dream is fading very, very quickly. But
well, if you're a HelpingHans fan and you want to come and give him a big hug in Studio One Leicester, you're more than happy to do so. As long as, you know, it's just a hug, nothing more. And there you go. GG, well played, Mr. Hans.
GG, well played indeed. I will update the scores properly there on that, because we didn't do it last time. It's 3-2. Oh no, sorry, 3-1, wasn't it? 3-1. Exciting
picture now, ladies and gentlemen. All fans of Company Heroes 2 Competitive, all fans of GCS, is we have somehow, through the grace of dear God, secured ESL Studio One, one of the premier esports studios in Western Europe, for the final of this tournament. If you want to be a live attendee and you have easy access to come to Leicester, England, email me on redditco@gmail.com, and you can come and watch a final between the on paper greatest tournament player in Company Heroes history, Devem, versus Luvnest, the German giant, the German war machine, playing for the pride of the of Central Europe versus the Portuguese prodigy. This is going to be a battle of two Goliaths. One who's been calm, cool, and steady. He's dispatched foes left, right, and centre. He's finally come up against Luvnest. Sorry, finally come up against HelpingHans, who's been a really difficult opposition. And then Devem, who's had a tough time of it today against Von Ivan. I mean, Dan, how excited are you for this final?
I am very excited for this fight. I mean, there were so many combinations of what the final could be, like so many ways that it could have turned out. I think this is going to be an amazing final. The both of these players, you know, and really like Hans and Luvnest, like they both played so well through all the series. Luvnest to tip it on top. You know, I know Hans and Luvnest, they were talking in chat earlier saying whoever wins this has to commit to beating Devem. And I think that means that Luvnest is going to even pull out a higher tier of God mode. But you know very well, as we saw from Devem, that last game he played Von Ivan, Devem can switch on something fierce. Luvnest has been very resilient to 3-1 against HelpingHans, what rightfully should have been 3-2 because both of them were playing so excellently. You know, it bodes well for a fantastic final. I couldn't think of a better setup to have on the main stage of ESL.
It's two people that are so esports. I know that's a silly phrase that's thrown about here and there. What I mean by that is, like, they give off such a professional aura of sportsmanly competition. Both of these guys. Obviously, Devem's history as a tournament player in this game, but he's also a semi-professional League of Legends player. Him and his buddies from Portugal make money on the European League of Legends team playing in tournaments. He's got plenty of Facebook profile photos with him in his sponsored up jersey, playing with his team of buddies. Luvnest, deep and esteemed history as an RTS gamer. He's always been a top name in KO2 ever since he hit the scene in late 2014, and he is so calm, cool, collected, the 3 C's, and he's so efficient, of course, as the cliched way to describe a German would be, that he's not going to be fazed by Devem. He is your perfect champion if you want to see, in inverted commas, cash grab Devem not win another major tournament. If you want to see Luvnest, who hasn't won since January ESL, by the way, so that was a long time ago, February 2016, so it's been over a year and a half by the time of this final. If you want to see Luvnest, who's the perfect contender in my mind to face Devem, you're going to be wanting to tune in 3 weeks' time, or 2 weeks and 6 days. It's not 2 Saturdays and then the following Saturday after. We need that time to make sure plane tickets are as cheap as possible, and so we can organise the final. We're going to do a few little events in the coming weekends. I'm sure Dan and I will organise something to keep you salivating. A few hype events to make sure everybody's happy and excited and knows the score. But I'm so excited, to be honest. It's going to be amazing.
I'm excited. It's going to be, it's a nice, you know, and especially the fact that there's a trophy as well. Like they're actually going to.
Yeah. I mean, I had it made yet. I need to get that made.
I've waited for this community to have an actual person holding a trophy going, you know, like, I own Company of Heroes. You know, that's like, I like that. Wouldn't
it just be brutal if it's Devem? I mean,
would you be able to lift the trophy? Like, help me.
He's a title of the game.
We'll get like the 2 runners up to hold it either side of him, and then his hands can go above it.
Well, Aimstrong's coming as well, so I imagine Aimstrong will probably lift Devem up on his shoulders or something, you know. And the thing with both players, they're amazing players. I think Luvnest was the first person for me, because I started watching KO2 competitively in about 2014. He was like the guy that could beat Jesulin at the time, the great white hope against Jesulin, and that he built up a rivalry against him. And that was really cool to see evolve, and he's got a lot of history. But Devem's history, he's the first guy I ever saw play this game competitively back in 2011, one of the early SNF, I think it was SNF 3 or something. And at the time, Amy Polotsi Funk was saying, yeah, this guy's really strategical. He likes to use a lot of barbed wire. He must be quite an old guy. And little did we know at the time, he was 13 years old at that point. It's like, what the hell? And then 6 years later, we got that same guy, the very first guy I ever saw play this game competitively. He's now going to be playing live on stage in Portugal as a grizzled 19-year-old veteran. But he's got this aura. I know he's diminutive in real life, Dan. You've met him, but his kind of persona in the game, it's like he's got this giant mentality. So in my mind, the community spirit will be behind Luvnest, and we'll have Devem as like the Khal Drogo, And we've got you won't get these references. You've never watched Rocky, but still, it's such a cool matchup. You know, I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be a fantastic matchup. And also, the funny thing is, like, I remember during the Warpaint Championship, we had Jeslin versus DevM, and we did this kind of like pre-tournament interview, which I don't actually know where that ever went. I don't know if anyone ever saw it. It was like, we like organised this big thing. We were sat in a room, got film camera, like, never saw it, never. But anyway, DevM was like, I asked them a question, and I just said, you know, do you have any words for your opponent? And you know, like Jesselin's there. Jesselin's a really nice guy. You know, he's like, you know, born and raised very well. He's like, oh, well, I hope everybody has good games and it's going to be really good fun and exciting. DevM just looks at him and he just says, Jesselin, try to make it last more than 3 games. So DevM's got this nice little mean streak about him underneath the sweet facade. He's got this kind of attitude.
That's what he said earlier. When we made him play another game against Von Ivan, even though by the rules of GCS we should have given him the win, but we offered him the option of saying, listen, Devon, you've had a bug splat, even though you were clearly winning. To be honest, we would probably call it in your favour, but it might be better in the spirit of competition if you play Von Ivan in a game of 5. We'll give you both faction choice and map choice. And he begrudgingly accepted. And then I said, stressed him again, you do not have to do this. And he said, yes, I'm doing it. It's fine. So he decides to play Von Ivan. But then he sent me the following message. Swear to God, I'm going to destroy Von. So pissed. It's like, and that's exactly what we saw happen. Von Ivan was playing really well, but it was like, what? That game needs to be studied by players, I think. It's like one of those ones where you want to study what DevM was doing at that point. Like, he was just unbeatable, seemingly. But if there's one man that can rise to the occasion and not get scared by the name of DevM, it's Luvnest. He's a cool, calm, collected customer, and he's going to be the man to make this best of 7 truly competitive. And I think you would not put the odds in either man's favour, quite frankly. It's number 1 seed versus number 2 seed. Can you put my seeding, Dan? Jesus Christ! What the hell? There's not been an upset yet.
It has been phenomenal for sure.
There's not been an upset yet in this tournament. There's not been one upset.
Get good, son. By the way, just brings up a pretty good point there. By the way, thank you very much for the subscription there. Thank you to all of the follows, subscribers. Like, I do see it coming in. I do really appreciate it, even though I can't mention it whilst we're casting. The support from you guys is fantastic, and thank you so much for helping us make this possible. But one thing we have forgotten is the giveaway, because we had a bit of a fancy giveaway thing going on today, and that of course was that we were telling players, when you're going to raffle, you have to also write a message for who you think is going to win. And if you win the raffle but you got the wrong person, then unfortunately you don't win. So what we're going to do this time around, we're going to give away, we'll do the same thing, 2 copies of Ashes of the Singularity, 2 commander codes for Company of Heroes. We're going to go over to that screen right now. So here we go, guys. Of course, Luvnest was the winner of that series. So the first person to win, is it going to be Ashes of the Singularity or Commander Code first?
Tell me their name and then I'll tell them what they win, depending on if I like them or not.
That seems a little unfair.
I don't care.
Breaking all the rules today, all the etiquette rules. Okay, let's do that then. A will decide your fate. I think that laugh just about sums up the situation. So first draw is going to be Stretchco, who doesn't have a message, so he can't win anyway.
Screw him. Ban him.
Thanks, as usual. Thanks for taking part. Next one is going to be Duke Jason, but he hasn't left a message either. Well, I'm like, okay. That was the whole idea, is that you leave the message, everyone. Jay Craven hasn't left it. We're going to just go through these until we have a message. Here we go. Down PT. His message was Down PT himself.
You sure there's not an S at the end of one of those words?
I'm sure. Sochador. Message Luvnest. He's the rightful winner to the first one of these.
Sochador sounds like one of the future greatest Ashes of the Singularity players I've ever heard. Honestly, sounds like the man, number 1 in the world, Ashes of the Singularity.
Okay, he's going to get Ashes of the Singularity then. Then we're going to have, next one is Schlafschaff, who doesn't write anything. Nelly Neal doesn't write anything. Gosh, look at this. WML21, message Luvnest. So he is a winner. What's it going to be?
commander code for him. He's already got the name that sounds like an American kind of weapon, so he can have a commander code.
He can have a commander code, WML21. You will get a commander code. Then we're gonna do 2 more winners out of this.
Okay.
Zorglub, I think. He doesn't say anything, probably because he's a Zorglub. We have Joseph Jagashvili, who doesn't say anything.
Can you just skip through the ones that don't have a message, please, instead of trying to say their names? It's going to make it
Galaxy Slothbuster. Message, I love Luvnest. He is a winner.
Oh, that's technically. Sloth. Give him Ashes of Singularity. I think he's going to love it, because he's a slow guy, he's a sloth. It's a slow game, more meta than micro, so he'll enjoy it.
Okay. And then one last one. Landagar, whose message is Mavaja. Okay, I'm not going to read that. I just realised what that said. Gustirai, who says nothing. Tab Mackie, who says sauce or swas. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, Tab Mackie. Yeah, give him. He's
no,
the
we're not doing
he's
this.
He's a benefactor of the Kickstarter.
Oh, do that off stream.
£50.
We're not looking like we're breaking rules. Anton VCD, message Luvnest. Message Luvnest. He's a winner.
Yeah.
What's he gonna get?
The commander. Yeah, I'm not interested anymore.
Okay, Anton, your fate has been decided. As that. So there we go, guys. Those are the giveaways for. Those are the giveaways.
If anybody who's listening and wants to come to the live event and is genuinely serious about doing so, email me on redditco@gmail.com with the subject, event, whatever, and basically that is your cue to then me send you the info, and you can tell me, if you're on the list or not, if you're coming, and then we can get people to attend the event live. 50 people total, probably. So it's looking good.
It's looking good.
It's only 20 past 10.
Oh, I know, it's late. Need to find out, Hans, are you streaming? Would you like to, or even Luvnest, whichever one, maybe they want to get on stream and have a little discussion about how those games went. Would be an interesting one to see one of those 2 players stream. Let me know, either of you two, in chat if you are, because I will give you the host. Other than that, we're going to roll out with, obviously, the outro, and then we'll just go to a wait screen until we decide who we're going to host. So, guys, thank you again for the turnout. Huge. We had like 1,600 people on the stream consistently, which was which was awesome, and just huge for this game. So, guys, please all turn out for the finals, because if it's anything like today, it's going to be absolutely intense. Best of 7. But we're going to go. Thanks, AE, for co-casting. Good job as always. And,
thanks for co-casting. You don't have to thank me, but thank you. I appreciate the laurels there.
I retract my compliment. Yeah, I think we're just happy to be alive. Like, I'm exhausted, absolutely exhausted.
9 games, yeah, it's pretty brutal.
That is brutal indeed. So,
anyway, I had loads of t-shirts made for everybody, by the way, for benefactors. But you sign off. Sorry, gone.
We can do this. Now's the time, if any time. So.
Made loads of t-shirts for like the top benefactors. I'll bring them to the event with me. These t-shirts, I've got them made now. One for you as well, Dan. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much. All right, let's sign off, guys. Thanks for watching as always. We'll see you for the grand finals of the Grand Championship Series. GG's to the players, and remember, DevM versus Luvnest. Going to be absolutely crazy. Good night.
Push down, he's going in for the flanking push. Raketen in that centre pass does not matter. M4C Sherman's going for the Osman. The T70 is going to try and get rid of the Raketen. Here comes the Krautmo, the M5 half track with the quad mount. Everything's going wrong for Burmy very quickly.
T-3485 to the left, whilst all of the infantry was seemingly on the mid to right. Yaktig is going to try and get some shots off, and it does. Actually connects again. T-3476 doesn't. King Tiger easily going to be able to deal with the situation, and now he's going for the rear armor, trying to maybe block it in so the AT gun can also get some work. That looks like a successful block.
It's all kinds of fears coming in. The Sherman's in an ambush position. He's going to get that rear armor facing. SU-85 is about to go down. Tiger's getting done down by the Sherman though as the Stuka rains fire from above. What an armor confrontation. It looks likely that Aimstrong's come out highly on top here. All three vehicles down for Hooligan. Aimstrong reigning supreme through the centre.
They're going to try and get it. Havoc just doesn't know how to do this. The King Tiger's parked in the center. There's no way round. He just has to take it from the front. Good counterplay from Tobestone. Gets the Faust on the T-3485. Here comes the Raketten. He's going to get a shot off. That's the penetration.
Yeah, Faust! I came here for no problem with it. I got the Panther. Pershing goes down to chant Panther down. He's sitting up there. Everything is blowing apart! Everything's going kaboom!
Is he? He shouldn't do. He really shouldn't do. Or should he?
He gets it! He gets it
with the Ziscon! Holy crap!
Oh.